Most people think sounding good at piano takes years, like there's some secret amount of time you have to put in before it finally clicks and you stop sounding like a beginner. But that is not actually true. The difference between someone who sounds like they've played for years and someone who sounds like they just started almost never comes down to how long they've been playing. It comes down to 5 specific skills. And here's the thing, you can start working on all 5 of them right now today. No matter how long you've been playing, I'm going to show you exactly what they are, and by the end of this video, you're going to hear the difference immediately. By the way, I also put together a free resource called the Piano Practice Planner. Everything we covered today needs to be practiced the right way to actually stick. The practice planner shows you exactly how to do that and gets you playing your first real songs with chords in just 7 days. The link is in the description. So let's get into it. Skill number 1 is study beat. And I know what you're thinking, that sounds too basic to matter, but this is the single biggest tell that someone is a beginner, and it is also one of the fastest things you can fix to sound significantly better. Here's the simplest way to think about a steady beat. You know when you're at a concert and the whole crowd is clapping together? That's the beat. It is steady, predictable, and everybody feels it at the same time. When a pianist has a rock-solid steady beat, you could clap along with them all the way through the song without missing a beat. When a beginner is playing, nobody can clap. The tempo is speeding up, slowing down, hesitating at hard parts, and the whole thing feels unstable even if every single note is correct. Let me show you what I mean. Here is Sign of the Times by Harry Styles without a steady beat. Now here's the same song with a locked-in steady beat. Now everybody in the room can clap along, and that's the difference. The fix is not to practice the whole song over and over. Take one line at a time, get that line steady before you move on, then once you feel confident, play along with the actual recording of the song. Hearing the real beat in your ear while you play is one of the most powerful ways to lock it in fast. Skill number 2 is clean chords. A clean chord means every note lands at the same time and rings out clearly. But for most beginners, one finger keeps getting in the way. Finger 4. Here's why. Look at your hand. Every finger has its own independent tendon except for one. Finger 4 shares a tendon with finger 3, your middle finger. They're literally connected underneath the skin. So when you try to move finger 4 on its own, your middle finger wants to come along for the ride. You have never had to isolate that finger in your entire life before piano, so that's why it feels so hard. So when you go to play a chord, for example, C major, finger 3 needs to play the middle note, but when you're a beginner, finger 4 wants to join in the fun like this. So we want to get our hands playing clean chords like this. We don't want finger 4 joining in like this. I have a tapping exercise you can do to fix this. Play the entire chord, then lift and tap one finger at a time like this. This creates more finger independence when you're playing your chords. And by the way, don't forget to grab the free piano practice planner in the description. It shows you exactly how to structure your practice time so these skills actually become part of your playing. The link is in the description below. Skill number 3 is the sustain pedal. This is the fastest way to make your playing sound more beautiful and more professional overnight. Here's what it does. When you press it down, it lifts the dampers off the strings and lets the notes ring out and breathe. Without it, everything sounds dry and clipped. So here's the song Sign of the Times by Harry Styles, again, but without the sustain pedal. And now, here's the difference. I'm going to play with the sustain pedal. Now here's where beginners go wrong. There are 3 mistakes I see all the time. First, they avoid the pedal completely because it feels like one too many things to think about. Second, they press it down at the beginning and just leave it there the whole song. And that sounds like this. which is a very muddy sound. And third, this is the most common one, they change the pedal at the same time as they change the chord. So they lift the pedal and they play the new chord at exactly the same moment. That creates a little gap of silence between every chord. The music sounds choppy instead of smooth. So this is what that would look like. So here's the rule: chord first, pedal second. You play the new chord, then you clear the pedal immediately after. That tiny difference, chord first, pedal second, is what creates a smooth, seamless connection between every chord with no gaps. So that looks like this. Then I'm going to play the chord and I'm going to lift the pedal right after. And then again. So watch that. I'm just going to switch between the chords. This takes practice, but practice this technique slowly and you will nail it over time. Skill number 4 is musical expression. This is the one that takes your playing from sounding like you're executing notes on a page to sounding like you are actually telling a story. Here's the truth: you can play every single note correctly and still sound like a beginner, because beginners tend to play everything at the same volume, the same tempo, the same touch from the first note to the last. It is technically correct, but it sounds flat. It sounds like someone reading a book, very monotone. Listen to the intro of The Long and Winding Road by the Beatles with no expression. It was a little hard for me to play it that way, but I tried. So that was with no expression. Now here it is with expression. So that time I used the pedal, I made the beginning louder and I kind of got softer. I did all kinds of things to make it more expressive. Now here's something I hear from students all the time. They think that they just have that or they don't have that. They think some people have it naturally and some people don't. They think this is just not how I play. But this is simply not true. Musical expression is not a gift. It's not some mysterious feeling that only some people have. It is literally just making it louder, making it softer, slowing down, speeding up. Anyone can do that, so you don't need to have some special talent. So here's how. From now on, when you listen to music, don't just enjoy it, but study it. You can ask yourself, why is this pianist playing softly here? Or why did they get louder? What are they trying to express? You will start hearing things you never noticed before. And here are 2 places to start right now. First, make your verse softer than your chorus. The chorus is the main melody that everyone knows and loves. It deserves more weight and more energy and more volume. So let the verse be the quiet setup and let the chorus land like a statement. Second, slow down at the end of the song. Don't just stop, but let the last few notes breathe and fade. Give the music a proper ending. Those 2 things alone will immediately make your playing sound much more musical and intentional. Skill number 5 is chord patterns and simple improvisation. And this is my favorite one because this is where playing piano stops feeling like following instructions and starts feeling like making music. Most beginners learn their chords and play them as block chords. All the notes together, straight down, every time. And that sounds like this. Here's the song Can't Help Falling in Love with just block chords. It is correct, but is a little lifeless. Now listen to what happens when you take those exact chords and turn them into an arpeggio pattern. That was the same song, but now it sounds like Elvis. One of the easiest and most beautiful patterns you can add is an arpeggio. Instead of playing all the notes of the chord at the same time, you play each note separately. So watch that a little more closely. Those were not just individual notes, I was simply playing the chord but broken up. And it creates this flowing continuous movement underneath the melody that makes everything sound fuller and more musical. And the best part is that arpeggios sound great on almost every song. And here's the exciting part. This is just the beginning of improvisation. You are not just reading a pattern off a page, you're making a creative choice about how to play the chord. That is improv. It does not have to be complicated jazz runs or fancy solos. It's simply deciding, instead of playing this chord as a block, I'm going to play an arpeggio. Once your chords are solid, this is one of the first things I teach my students because it immediately makes everything sound more musical. So those are your 5 skills: steady beat, clean chords, sustained pedal, musical expression, and chord patterns. And here's what I want you to remember. None of these take years, not a single one. Every skill on this list is something you can start working on today in your very next practice session, no matter how long you've been playing. So now you know the 5 skills. The next step is actually building them into your playing. That is exactly what the practice planner is for. It takes everything you just learned and gives you a simple daily structure so nothing gets forgotten, and you're playing your first real song with chords in 7 days. The link is in the description. Up next, I recommend watching this video. It will show you 5 beautiful arpeggio patterns you can learn today to make your song sound absolutely beautiful. So check it out next. And if this video helped you, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.